Hey, what's up, everybody? It is Friday, April 18th. It's been 3 weeks since we've last been here, but it's time. It's time for another episode of the Ghost Files. I'm your host, Vincent DiSanti. I'd like to welcome you to the Womp Stomp Films YouTube channel, where we're going to hang out tonight, talk about some cool things coming up from the Womp Stomp Films slate, some upcoming projects, some upcoming news about the Never Hike Alone 2 Indiegogo, the Final Cut Kickstarter, and then the upcoming Indiegogo for Ghosts in the Fog, as well as some updates on the Never Hike Alone box set and some other projects that are coming down the pipe that hopefully will go into production pretty soon. But before we do that, let me get some a little boop. Yep, there it goes. And then let's dive into the comments. First thing, of course, if you have not already, you better have subscribed and liked this video, subscribe to the channel. We actually just crossed 90,700 subscribers. So if you're new to the channel and you're just checking in, welcome to maybe your first Ghost File, maybe your 50th Ghost File. Who knows? We've only done 42. But Lamontre is here. What's up, Lamontre? Cheesy Corn Pop is dropping in with that fantastic thumbnail. Anna's in the house. What's up, Anna? Steve DMV, what's up? Let's see. Couple of things. Oh, there's Allie Girl checking in. She's super excited for Ghost Files Friday. Bashzilla's. And here's Moy Tunes. What's up, buddy? Jacob Thompson, what's up, man? Made it on time for once. This is great. He just got off Minecraft. Thank you for checking in. Hopefully you're not chicken jockeying your living room. Let me see. Jacob's here. Cheesy Corn Pop. I think I got about everybody there. About 20 people on the stream so far. That's not off to a bad start. Oh, Momo Squid's in the thing. A little bit of beak. That's nice. Hello, Cheesy Pop. How are you guys doing? So anyway, it's been 3 weeks since we've last seen each other. I have been off running around the country doing some things. I was able to let me see. Visited some family, which I won't get into because that's the personal stuff. But after that, I was actually able to link up with a good friend of mine, Cortland Gordon. We filmed something for about 3 days out in Michigan. You probably saw something posted on the Womp Stomp Films social media. If you're not subscribed, you should definitely check out that. But on the Indiegogo, not the Indiegogo, the Instagram. On the Instagram, Cortland shared a photo of me and Ryan Becker, another good friend of mine, future, well, not future, but he is Hikerman 5000 and Never Hike Alone 3. So we got a chance to work on something out there. It's a top secret project. They are working away on it right now. It will probably be released in the near future online. There's going to be a big streaming sort of announcement. But I had a pretty good role in it. I'm pretty pumped about it. I got reunited with some people from the Happy Halloween team. So that's about as much as I can talk about that. But that's where I was for 1 week. And then this previous week, we also had the New Bedford Film Festival, which I've been hyping up and talking about for quite some time now. We finally had it. My first year as tech director went surprisingly well. There were a couple of little snafus that I had to fix on the fly, but nothing too crazy. We didn't lose any screenings. Everybody's screenings looked great. We worked out of the Steeple Playhouse in New Bedford, as well as Gallery X. We also did a little bit of a screening in the New Bedford Art Museum, which was nice. It was 3 days, well, 4 days if you count the opening ceremonies, but it was a wonderful time. Shout out to my entire crew, Seth Chitwood, and our founder Ethan, who just did an amazing job of bringing us all together to really get this film festival kind of up and running. This was our year 2, and it went really, really well. There were a lot of really great films this year at the festival, and it was it was quite the adventure. I mean, I literally blinked and 4 days went by. The Friday night, last Friday, we had screenings up until 7:30 in the afternoon. Then we had networking events. I even got to host my own fundraising panel where I talked about crowdfunding and independent financing and grants, and the differences between each of those and all of that stuff. So if you weren't in the area and you weren't able to check it out this year, I would definitely say, if you're a filmmaker or you're just interested in watching some really good films and some really cool locations, come to New Bedford, Massachusetts. Check out the New Bedford Film Festival. We're in a really cool section of Massachusetts. The weather was not great. It was raining last weekend, but hopefully next year we can get a little bit better weather. And like I said, the venues are amazing. We also partnered with the Harbor Hotel down in New Bedford, where we hosted all the networking events and did some of the awards stuff. We did a final night awards presentation at the Steeple Playhouse, which went really, really well. A lot of well-deserved awards were handed out all throughout the festival. In fact, shout out to Carl Winery, whose music video for Vintressa, Celestial Abscission, actually won Best Music Video at the film festival. And I did not. It was voted by the people. I was a board member and a judge, but I was actually really surprised. Not surprised. I mean, I was actually really just happy that I knew when Carl entered that he had a really good chance of being one of the best. And there were a lot of really great videos that year. I know Mike Sun's video, which was really good. And a few others that just like kind of really knocked it out of the park. But great lineup this year. A lot of New Bedford and Massachusetts filmmakers. Some people came in from across the world. Shout out to Tom, who came all the way in, I believe from Holland, from Belgium, actually, and had a great film called Hearts of Stone, which won Film of the Fest, basically, or Best Short at least. And it was quite spectacular. But yeah, so that was really good. Also been staying busy behind the scenes with Never Hike Alone stuff. We're going to get into that in a little bit. I am going to jump back into the comments here in a little bit. Tonight's going to be a little free form. I didn't have much of a subject. Not much has been going on in the world of Friday the 13th anyway. You know, if you didn't catch my last episode about the casting for Pamela Voorhees, you can definitely check out that one from last week where we dove into some, you know, what's, if, ands, and buts. But we're not really going to keep going around the circles until the show actually releases some things that's something to chew on. But there is a Friday the 13th coming up, and a very important one because it's Jason's birthday. Hopefully we're going to have some really cool stuff to reveal on that. We're kind of making some plans. We always do something for Friday the 13th, right? I'm actually working on something with my good friends at Ronin Creative for something that will help tease the final cut and the things that we're going to be getting into with Ghosts in the Fog and things like that. But before I go back into Never Hike Alone and updates on Indiegogo, let's dive back into the comments. Look like you guys are asking some stuff, but let's see. Bashzilla. Hey, Vincent, just wanted to thank you for sending those stickers that were missing from my Blu-ray set, even a few extra ones. Love the Blu-rays. So excited to have them in my collection. Yes. Let's talk about the Never Hike Alone 2 Indiegogo. I can take barely any credit. I've been so busy and traveling the last 2 weeks. Shipping has slowed down just a little bit, but not completely, because my girlfriend Mo, behind me over here, which you can't really see, it's blocked by this microphone, but she has a shipping station over here, and she's been taking care of a lot of your orders from the Never Hike Alone 2 Indiegogo. So things have been going out. We've been monitoring the emails that have been coming in. You either gotten an email from me or from her, whether, you know, something went missing or you just have a question about your order. You can get us at wompstompfilms@gmail.com, and we'll help sort you out. We're about, I think last time we talked, we had just crossed 50% of domestic orders. We're still working our way through, you know, those orders as well. I just got back, jumped back into work this week, and this weekend Mo and I are going to sit down, go through some of the orders. We're actually working on a lot of the Never Hike Alone Blu-ray collections that were purchased. So if you got like Never Hike Alone, Never Hike in the Snow, Never Hike Alone 2, and the Ghost Cut as like a four Blu-ray package. That's the ones we're actually working on right now. And I actually just had to bring home, 3 other boxes of Ghost Cuts and other things that we need to kind of start jamming these out. So if you haven't received a notice from us yet, it's just, you're still in the queue. I'm still waiting for updates for the VHS tapes, so I don't have those. The Ghost Jason figures are, both the ones that are like Funko ones and then the ones that are fully dressed. Those are in progress and on the way. I'm hoping to get some really cool, once I get some good updates from the manufacturers in the next couple of weeks, we'll definitely share some of that on the Ghost Files. But yeah, mostly just waiting on VHS tapes right now. And listen, guys, we bombarded them. Like tapeworm video, I'm just gonna say, publicly on the podcast, I can't believe how much I appreciate them over the years. They've always stuck by us. They got hit with a lot of tape orders. I mean, you guys bought a lot of VHS tapes. We talked about it. We knew it was going to be a heavy workload. It took us a while to get the right, video to him. And doing those tapes, you got to do them each by hand. and it is a lot of work. And he's doing a lot of tapes, a lot of covers, building all those covers by hand. And he mentioned a few weeks ago that they were pretty close to being done, and I definitely want to take his word for it. But I also know that life can pop up and things can get busy. Look at me, I just disappeared for 2 weeks, and I'm coming back in and diving back into this stuff now. So there's plenty to do before the VHS tapes get here. If you have a perk that involves that, or a mask, or a weapon, right now weapons are being passed around California, being signed. They're actually with our producer Kyle Klein. He actually got Anna to sign, Anna Campbell to sign the weapons, the machetes, and the axes, both the double-sided and the normal ones. So those are being done, and congratulations to Anna as well. She has a film out right now that's touring around the country, which I believe there is a screening tonight in New York it's for a film called Nora. So if you don't follow Anna on social media, I would definitely say look her up. She's definitely tagged at a bunch of stuff that we've done. I think it's Anna Willigram. But definitely check out her new film if you have a chance to. Let's dive into some more comments over here. It always seems to rain in New England during the weekend. Yes, that is a running joke around here. No more news about the show. Nope, not necessarily. I do follow Brad Caleb Kane. I haven't seen anything on his thing. Oh, Mardina's here. What's up, Mardina? If Kyle isn't in NHA3, will Hikerman 5000 be in it? Yes. In fact, Never Hike Alone 3 is all about Hikerman 5000, bringing it back to the Cortland and Ryan thing. Let me just reflect on that week a little bit. I'm going to tell you a little bit about the production. I got to get you guys hyped for this project because, as you know, it's been a long time since we've done Never Hike Alone 2, and we really haven't been working on much here at Womp Stomp Films as far as making new content. So I have, worked on a few productions, but this was actually a really fun time to get out there with Cortland and actually make something. I was fully intact with like acting, and I finally got to just do like some acting for him. But it was just good to be around those guys again. Like Cortland and Ryan are some of the hardest working guys that I know. They're working on some really cool things over there at Obviously Odd. And I know they got some other projects coming up that we want to work on. You're probably going to see hopefully more creature suit acting out of me in a few productions that are coming up. I've been working with this filmmaker called Steven. His name's Steven Slosh. He's got a project coming out pretty soon called Gimme that I've been helping him out with. We got another thing that's kind of coming up down the line. I Have No Problemo coming up. And so there's a lot of things that are going to be in the pipeline soon. But this first thing with Cortland, guys, it's going to be something. It was 3 nights in the Michigan, woods behind the same house where we shot Happy Halloween. These guys built this incredible set, had really cool costumes, some really great cinematography. It was a really great team. And it was just a small little, it reminded me of the early days of Never Hike Alone. That's what I love about the way that Cortland works. He gets people together, doing it for the right reasons. And it was, freezing cold. And we all had like a little fire that we built, in this barbecue pit, to keep warm in between shots, and had a really great time designing stunts. You guys may know the streamer PG. He's also in the short. He's the star of the short, which is really cool. And we got to do some work together. Obviously hanging out in Michigan for a couple of days was like a lot of fun. And I'm really excited for you guys to see that. Oh yeah, I forgot all the good names. All the good names for podcasts are taken. Watch Never Hike Alone tonight. So that's why we're actually starting at 9 o'clock. I was going to start at 8. So, and then I saw that those guys were going to do a stream on Never Hike Alone, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And I was like, there's no way I could step on their show. I mean, they'd steal all my viewers. So, shout out to those guys. I hope they had fun with it. I'm sure they made fun of me a ton. I'm sure they tried to knock me down a peg, which I'm sorry I deserve. But I love those guys, and hopefully they'll jump into the chat when they're done. I hope I'm not stepping on them too much. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, you can kind of throw them out. Let's jump into Indiegogo still again and talk about some of the stuff that we got going on there. Only 17 minutes in? Yeah, we're not revealing anything good at 17 minutes. Are you kidding me? This is a slow burn night. This is a slow week, so we're going to use it. Oh, shout out to Los Angeles Muay Thai, a good friend of mine, David Huerta, who runs this down East Los. Dude, if you want to train Muay Thai in Los Angeles, this. And then if you're in Santa Monica, I'd also shout out to Santa Monica Striking, which I also think is now Santa Monica MMA now. Lance Dixon, David and Lance, two of the guys who, like, when I first got in started in Muay Thai, were, you know, pivotal in sort of like my early education of it and just training with them, and just two really great guys. And, you know, Dave's got this gym in LA that's really cool. And I'm so happy to be supporting him. I sent him a Never Hike Alone sweatshirt so we can rep together. But yeah, shout out to Dave and LAMT. So what else was I talking about? So Indiegogo, that's coming along. Shipping's going along. Kickstarter, people have been asking about that. Obviously, since we're working on Never Hike Alone 2, the Kickstarter stuff isn't going to be shipped for a while. We're also going to be running this upcoming Indiegogo to get Ghost in the Fog funded. This is sort of like, I guess, one of the biggest updates of the night. I originally wanted to get the pre-launch campaign sort of up and running now. Being away for 2 weeks, coming back, trying to play catch up, it sort of just, you know, the reality set in that this probably isn't going to happen as quickly as I thought it was going to. So this weekend, as I'm doing Never Hike Alone 2 stuff, I've been actually planning to go do the video, plan something with that, and start getting those materials ready. Mako Animation has been working on some things, which I'm actually going to show you tonight. Actually, two updated storyboard, we call them look of picture tests. So you get like a look of picture of like what the animated show will look like, to give you an idea of like what we're going to be showing on but I mean, the cool thing about with Ghost Files Live, I know I've sit here and I gab and I'm just like blah, blah, blah for a long time, but you gotta, if you stick around, I'm going to show you things that you're only going to see that other people aren't going to see for another couple of weeks or at least months. You know, some of these things, you know, you're getting a first look. Basically, I just got this art and you are the first to see the art. You're going to see it before it's up on the website. You're getting a sneak preview of this. Really excited that I'm going to be sharing tonight as well. All the new artwork for the Never Hike Alone box set. So I got a majority of the work. It's all done by Josh Beamish. We've been teasing it. Obviously, I think I showed some of it on Womp Stomp Films the other day. We're going to take a nice, you know, long look at it now. We will go over each piece. I'll explain how the artwork's going to come together, what we're going to do for the box set, and how that goes. I appreciate that, Jacob. I appreciate that. Yeah, Kickstarter stuff is basically on hold. If you're a Kickstarter backer, your name is going to be in the credits for the final cut, which is still in progress. Mike has been working on it the last couple of weeks. We just went back and forth on some notes. You know, still coming along. I still don't have a release date for it. We're just going to keep working on it when, you know, he has free time and I have free time. But I think we're going to see a lot of progress in the next probably month and a half. And we'll have some more answers there. I had some ideas pop into my head. I really want this to be special. And since we're going to run this campaign, we have time. You know, we're going to get some more funding. And then once we get that funding in, we're just going to be off and running with like making this thing work, and doing some really, really cool stuff. So let me see where we at. About 21 minutes. Before I jump into anything, yes, Josh Beamish is awesome. He does a lot of really great work. Yeah, I can update on the video game. We're gonna have I'm gonna have a meeting with the video game people, or person. Actually people, because there's multiple games in progress. But my friend Robert, who's working on the NES style one, he's getting pretty close. We want to be able to release that on the Indiegogo at some point. There's another game that's a little bigger in ambition. I'm working with somebody who is just sort of taking it one day at a time to like build this kind of really cool thing. And I think there's going to be some similarities. That way we can always keep it as, you know, is Never Hike Alone and not really dipping into the Friday 13th at all, but we'll see it. What was I? Oh, this thing. This is my big water jug. Solstice, New Bedford, Massachusetts, New Bedford Film Festival, Telluride Horror Show. Pop Culture Beast, Halloween. Check it out. That stuff. Some pretty good. No, it's just my water. Just staying hydrated. Yeah, Jacob, video game. I got something for you guys. We're always building fun things over here. So basically here's what it looks like is for the crowdfunding in the next few weeks too. obviously we got Ghost in the Fog. We're going to get that up and running pretty soon. We want to get that out there so you guys can, start working on box set and getting Ghost in the Fog going. Slay is going to be releasing in the next few weeks to month as well. We'll have more information on that. I can't release any more information that I have, but I've seen some really cool stuff. I can't wait for you to see that. We're really excited about partnering with Kira Gardner and Jimmy Simpson and a lot of other really, really cool people on this project and Kickstarter. We're all collaborating on this. We really want this to be, we want to get this project finished and we want to see it through. I have a feeling that this is going to be a great step in the right direction for independent films, being able to control their own destinies. So this is going to be a really cool adventure with them. When those things are done, down the horizon or on the horizon, we have Ghost Chicken, the graphic novel, which is has a ton of artwork. I was going to show some of it tonight, but I messed up the slide. So we're not going to see it tonight. So you're gonna have to come back next week and I'm going to have more Ghost Chicken stuff. I think we may throw a sneak preview of what that book is going to look like. I'm hoping that could be our crowd fund for like the middle of the summer, late summer. We want to do the graphic novel, get that going, and that's going to set up our films for the fall. In the meantime, I know I mentioned this before for those of you out there, but if you're interested in becoming a producer on No Problemo, an upcoming short film that we're going to be producing here in Southern Massachusetts, it's this really fun short film. I'll pitch you off screen about it. But it's a straight up comedy. We're going to be filming it at areas in New Bedford, Massachusetts, where we do a lot of the film work for the film festival and things like that. We're trying to grow awareness of basically the film community that's growing in New Bedford and how New Bedford is a great destination for, films to check out about filming there and things like that. We have a really couple great locations that are going to work with us. I have a really cool cast that I'm building. And I think it's going to be pretty funny. It's got a really nice, it's got a little surprise to it. It's got a little comedy to it. I think people are going to dig it. It's going to be a little bit different from the Womp Stomp Films thing. Look at this guy, Anthony Harks, coming in hot, $20 super chat, lighting up my Crystal Lake chat comments, dogging all over the show. Hasn't watched a single minute of it, but is convinced it's not going to be good. But we still love you. We still love you, Anthony. Hopefully we'll be able to be out in your way soon for another convention, but we'll figure it out. Oh, speaking of conventions, you know what? Holy cow. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been talking about this thing for how long? Boom. Let me get over here. Look at this guy coming up pretty soon. Not this weekend, but next weekend. April 26th through the 27th at Fairhaven, Mass. Monster Expo halfway to Halloween. How about that? How about that? Who's coming out? Because guess who else is going to be there? Tom Matthews, CJ Graham, Eugene Clark, Linnea Quigley. Hot off the presses of doing her own crowdfund for Return to the Living Dead, Trash's Revenge. So definitely got to shout that out. Joe Souza, who's putting this on, who invited me as a guest. I'm going to have my own table. I'm going to be out there slinging Blu-rays. I'm going to have some Black Edition. Bam, these guys. Oh, look at that. Doesn't that look so nice? Oh, it doesn't have an insert right now, but it could have an insert. And I may have a few other things there up my sleeve, some fun stuff. I don't really have anything else in reach. But we'll have some cool stuff. And then you can come say hi at the booth, take some photos, and it'll be great. So we're about 27 minutes. I think 27 minutes. I think that's pretty good, right? So let's talk about this this Never Hike Alone box set. As I said, the one thing you have seen so far, the ones that's kicking it off, Never Hike Alone, the final cut. You guys have seen this. I did a whole campaign with this artwork. This was done by Josh Beamish. I mean, beautiful work all around. And I told Josh that when it came time to do a box set that I was going to hit him up because I think that he has the style to carry everything through. And I was definitely not wrong about that. Wow, I think I might be missing one other one. Hang on a second, folks. Yeah, why didn't that upload? Huh. Don't worry about me. I got everything. Hang on, I'm not gonna lose it. Because we need this one. So that got uploaded twice. That's weird. Here we go. Let me add some files. There it is. So fixing this as I go. Sorry, guys. Cool. So this is the thing. So I had him go through and we came up with this idea of doing a face-off of the thing. So Never Hike Alone, the new artwork. Drum roll, please, and bing. Look at this. The new Never Hike Alone artwork. This will be on the Blu-ray. This will be the cover for the Blu-ray. This mountain background will wrap around the disc, and that will go into the back. So moving on, the next disc would be Never Hike in the Snow, which now looks like this. And so this will obviously be available as the Blu-ray. This will be available also as a poster along with the other artwork that you saw. Then when you pull out your Never Hike Alone 2 Blu-ray, you get the damaged Jason and you get Tommy face to face. And so again, the backdrop is going to be there. And then finally, the updated ghost cut, the 2.5 hour ghost cut is going to have Pamela and Jason with this. This artwork is also going to be the artwork on the outside of the box. So this is going to be on either side with the candles wrapping around. And there's one more piece of artwork right now being done for the spine, which will be the thing that, we'll probably release in a couple of weeks. So just one more time to cycle through. Never Hike Alone. Never Hike in the Snow. Never Hike Alone 2. The ghost cut and the box. And then the final cut. And so this will make up a 5-disc Blu-ray box set, all wrapped up, all labeled for Never Hike Alone. It's going to give the Shout Factory box set a run for its money, our own little fan film version of it. Anthony's already is losing his mind. That a pack of searching your own. Here they are. They finally wrapped up. Finally stopped stepping all over them. Thanks, guys. I love you guys. Let me see. Cheesy Corn Pop thinks this is fire. If Kyle is in the next NHA, I'm starting a petition just saying, well, he may have a cameo, but it's all about Hikerman 5000 in the next one. Let me see. Back to media assets. Let's leave this one up. Let's just leave this and just look at this for a little while, because this is just, there we go. He sent this the other day. This isn't even final. To tell you the truth, I'm showing you guys like work in progress work right here. So sorry, Josh, if this is premature and you're going to do any more work on it. But I'm super happy about it. I think this is really cool. And this is all going to be for supporting Ghost in the Fog, which, while we're here, let's check out some new artwork from Ghost in the Fog. Boom. So here's a nice little shot of Jason coming down on the Brandon character. This was put together by Ruby and Moy and Juan and everybody at Mako Animation. We also have another image here too. This one right here with Dom and Lana, our new character design, actually. So this character here to the left used to look a little different. And we had somebody in the previous campaign buy the executive producer perk, and they had their wife or girlfriend put into the film as Lana. So Dom is still available. There's still another slot for Dom. If you're interested, that will be in the next campaign that will be available. We'll have to, obviously, depending on who gets them, we'll talk about how much we want to alter his look. But we'll sort of figure it out. We could just rename them. It's up to you. But it's basically going to be based on your character from that point. So again, this is just some of the look of picture stuff. So this is sort of what the animation, when we start to get it, like imagine if this picture was moving, this is what the film is going to look like with them having their, that conversation. This is going to be such a fun short. You guys have obviously seen a part of it. Those of you who have your Never Hike Alone 2 Blu-rays, you can watch the entire Ghost in the Fog short in animatic form. You're going to get spoiled everything, but you're going to see what we're trying to build. So we need you as our echo chambers out there to really kind of like help amplify the message and get us out there. So let's check out some stuff of that. That is super fire. Damn, beard's looking good. Thank you. Yeah, no, I trimmed it today. Yep, and the hair, it's not too bad. I've been letting it get long. Haven't touched it. Thank you, Mitch. Yeah, get Tom while he's still available. CD soundtracks included in the box set. Well, we can talk about that. Let me see what the cost of production is going to be for putting some of this stuff on vinyl. I can talk to my buddy Sean at Scare Flare, who helped us with the first soundtrack, which is actually right behind me. We could try to figure those out. The soundtracks are going to be tough because it's just a little bit of a different. It's an expensive venture, and we sort of have to do them on their own. We can't just like kind of throw them out willy nilly. But I do what you're saying. But when you do get anything from the Never Hike Alone library, you do get the digital assets, so you will get the digital downloads for it. I can't insert because I'm poor for perks and I love it. Looks good. Thank you. Vince is like a young Kane Hodder. Well, I'll take that as a compliment. Like the Part 8 song in the Friday the 13th game. I love that song. That was pretty cool. Let me see. A cameo is acceptable. He's got a cameo. He's obvious, and he's like a big subject in it too. There may be some fun stuff we can have that, like, even though he's not so much going to be interacting in the main storyline, that when we do mention him and we do sort of bring him up, that they may cut away to like what his channel used to be. So we may see other episodes of Trail Junkies, which might be kind of fun. Sorry, just gotta stay hydrated, guys. It's been a long week. Let me see. We're only 35 minutes in. I've kind of shown you guys everything that I had up my sleeve this week. Womp Stomp animated Friday the 13th stories would be great. Well, that's what we're working on right here, man. This image right here too, this one really cooks for me. This is the one that really sort of, I think, kind of gives us the idea of like the potential of what we're doing. Yes, Hikerman is going to be played by, he's in Never Hike Alone 2. When you watch the end of Never Hike Alone 2 and it goes to the mid-credit sequence, that's Hikerman 5000. That's Ryan Becker from Odyssey of the Odd, who I just did that stuff with. What about the shovel as a perk reward? Yes. I just got to figure out how much it's going to be to make one, and then we can make that a perk reward. I think I have some people who are... what's it called? Backers who are producers in Never Hike Alone 2. They might be able to take home some of them. Look at this guy, still throwing them out. Try and remember, sir, leave an extra slot for an eventual NHA 3 in the box set if possible, sir. See, now here's the thing. I feel like the Never Hike Alone box set, what's coming out, is sort of its own story. Like that's its own thing, and it kind of fits itself together. So there is that kind of side of it. I hear what you're saying, and I thought about that too. The other thing is too, guys, Never Hike Alone 3 is not a guarantee. I don't know if we're going to be able to make that. That's going to have to only happen if many, many good things align. Cortland and I talked about it a little bit when we were hanging out, last week or week and a half ago. We both have so much on our plates. And I really want to make it happen. We still have, Dylan's New Nightmare 2. We still have Jason Rising 2. Never Hike Alone 3 is a big undertaking, even though we are going to do it a little bit more guerrilla style. But we'll see. I mean, obviously, like the door's open for it. I think maybe what I could do with that is if we do end up adding a 5th, we could always just sell a new box. So you could just buy the 5th disc with the new box, and then it would just slip in, and it wouldn't be, you could basically, like, you get a Blu-ray in a box. And And that might not be too bad. We could probably figure that one out. Maybe that's the solution. See, problem solving on the fly. That's what we do here at Womp Stomp Films. It's, there's never any lava too hot for us to run across. Jesus, oh, what am I dancing on the pole for you tonight? Jesus, where am I simping for Kyle? I'm simping for Vin. What a world. Jeez, you guys are funny. Yes, Jason Rising too. James Sweet and I talked about it a little bit today. He's going to be launching a film, an Indiegogo pretty soon. I've obviously been in contact with Cecil about, I'm sure, is Robert the Wolfman in the thing tonight? Hey, John Zuzolo is here. What's up, buddy? Speaking of a producer, I think I gotta send him an email to pick out a perk or to pick out his screen use thing. We have nothing but time, man. Well, thanks. I appreciate that. Can you make a BTS video for Never Hike Alone 2? Actually, so that's the biggest fumble I had for the Never Hike Alone 2 Blu-ray, was that I didn't have time to put it together, but I actually have a series of interviews for everybody for that, what would have been that. And I ran out of steam on cutting it, and that was on me. But my idea is that I had all the interviews cut individually, and I'm thinking about just doing a series of interviews that I'll just release as full interviews with the single person rather than trying to cut them all together. It was done by the Cinescare podcast. It's done really, really well. There's some really great answers. Some of it was really emotional for me to go through, actually. And I think that's why it was tough for me to kind of cut through, because there was just so much that happened on Never Hike Alone 2. And I feel like, if I had to be honest, like, I felt like more time needed to pass for me to like sit down and do a second interview to talk about some of the things, and also kind of wrap around with some people to see some time pass. Because, like I've said before about the whole like Never Hike Alone thing, is that it's sort of, you can't see the forest through the trees when you're on it. It's just, it was so hard to get the film made in general, that it was, it was quite the adventure. And I'm starting to see like it hit different places. New people always find it all the time. I'm still sort of waiting for the final chapter, like in the whole kind of story of it, I guess. There feels like there's something left to be done. I'm not sure what it is. But in the meantime, I want to get this animated thing done. And there's so many other stories in the Never Hike Alone world that I want to tell. And so, it's going to be interesting. I mean, Friday the 13th is obviously a big part of my life. I love telling stories about Friday the 13th, talking about Friday the 13th. When the Crystal Lake TV show comes out, me and Anthony are going to go back and forth on stuff, and we're going to talk about it. If you can make a fan film between Smokey and the Bandit or Over the Top, which would you pick? I think I would do Smokey and the Bandit, just because there's a lot more like car chasing. Be a lot of car things. I mean, Over the Top would be fun. I mean, you could do like a whole bunch of jokes with like the guys with just like one big arm, and spinning their hat around, but that kind of runs out. But Smokey and the Bandit, it's got some real characters in that one. I feel like that would be fun. Let me see. Ghost versus New Nightmare. We have talked about it. We want to bring them together. I mean, it's just one of those things that, like, why not? If we're building this, all right, here we go. I got a soapbox I can get on, because I kind of brought this up at the New Bedford Film Festival during my my fundraising speech, and what I wanted independent filmmakers to kind of realize. But like, look at the thing we're talking about tonight. I mean, doing a Ghost Jason versus Dylan's New Nightmare and all this stuff. The studios, when they do this stuff, okay, go through all these layers of people that need to approve it and need to put the money together and blah, blah, blah. They're basically deciding for you, the viewer, what's worth it for them to try to sell you so they can make money off of it. And the in-between of that, of a filmmaker, say I have a project and I bring that to somebody and they buy the rights to it, they all of a sudden own it. And so this thing that I've created all of a sudden belongs to someone else. And they may even remove me from my own project that I brought to them. I've seen it done to people. It's happened to me. It's, there are certain ways like through that progress that just it's not artist friendly. But we have ideas. And you as fans have ideas about what you want to see. And so we've obviously done a great job here at Womp Stomp Films. We've been extremely lucky in the fact that our films have landed with an audience. We've built, this great, subscriber base that have helped us do all of these great crowd funds and raise all this money, not only for ourselves, but other filmmakers. But what crowdfunding really does is it's freedom. I mean, it is creative and artistic freedom in a way that I cannot describe it other than, the buck really does stop with the creator by having backers or having the audience directly support the artist creating the art. There is no in between. There is nobody taking a percentage. There is no, there are no agents who are trying to get paid and trying to boost all this stuff. It's just really about how much does the art cost? You supply the funding for the art, and then we, the creators, create the art for you. You help us create the ideas. You say, we want to see this. And so we open up a channel for you to come to a crowd fund. And then we have this symbiotic relationship where we're able to create the art because you keep supporting it. So, obviously I'm super thankful of that, because I wouldn't have been able to do any of the Never Hike Alone films without support of, at first, just only a few people. And, I talked about in the panel how the fact that the first Never Hike Alone was 277 backers. And prior to that, it was about 5 to 10 people who put together about $20,000 because they had all come in as producers on the first Never Hike Alone campaign that failed. To turn that initial investment from $20,000 into, in the last however many years, and everybody that I've helped out, I mean, I've had a hand in raising over $1 million for myself and others, which is kind of absurd. When I first started, I never even thought I'd get close to that number. So I am obviously pushing to try and get things into theaters and, go that route and still do films that way. But I got to tell you, there is so much freedom and so much creativity that if we can keep this up, there's an opportunity for us to take Womp Stomp and just to create features and just to create short films and to create just this content through this channel, just through your support. And, like I said, like with No Problemo, we're looking to raise about $5,000. And so far we've had 2 people already kind of not give a specific amount, but at least in the hundreds of dollars, which is going to be pretty good there. There's other places I think I can sort of find some cash. And some ways to raise it. We have some, obviously we have the convention coming up soon. That would be a great way to put some cash aside. But those are the things we want to start engaging our subscribers with, the fact that we want to create more content here. We have ideas for more content. We want to put more videos on this channel. What we can do is probably work out a system where eventually, once I figure out YouTube a little bit better, maybe there's sort of like a way that we can make them available to those who subscribe without ads, things like that. You'll be able to obviously, actually, if you're put it this way, if you come on and you are an executive, not an executive producer, but any type of producer on a Womp Stomp Films production, we will send you a download of the film. You can actually just have one, not just have on YouTube, which we will go on YouTube with your name on it. But you'll actually have your own copy that you could watch and show your friends and things like that too. So just a thing to keep in mind, and just a thing to keep in the future as we start to roll out more productions over the thing. And if you yourself are an independent filmmaker and you are struggling with the concept of crowdfunding or trying to build your audience or anything like that, and you need some help, you can contact me at wompstompfilms@gmail.com. In fact, I think I got a banner. I do. Bam. You can contact me here. I have a whole how to do on, how to do it, how to crowdfund, what does it take, what goes into it, and how you can kind of open that up. And hopefully in the next couple of months, as we roll out more projects here at Womp Stomp Films, us right here, this small little community, will have a chance to kind of, put this stuff together and have a lot of really, we just have a lot of cool stuff coming out. No Problemo, another one called The Switch, The Bonding, EMF. All of these things are in progress. Those are the 4 main shorts that we want to do. And, I have a feeling that those are going to be great. There's some other stuff, obviously, like we're working on with Cortland. There's some other things that we're going to work on with Cortland down the line. Cortland and I need to keep working on what's going to happen with Never Hike Alone 3 when he becomes available, when I become available. Let me tease this out there. I think it was time that Womp Stomp Films is going to do its own Halloween fan film. We've been a part of other people's fan films a lot, but we're actually looking at collaborating with, we're bringing back our friends from the Face of Michael Myers, something I talked about with Cortland, and then something that I've been kind of pitching for a while. And the idea is called Halloween Never Ends. Halloween Never Ends. And we're working on it now. It's going to be really cool. It's going to be really different. It's going to be unlike any other Halloween fan film you've ever seen before. It's not going to be a feature. I'm not shooting for a feature. We're shooting for something kind of short. Not like 10 minutes. It's not going to be like longer than Never Hike in the Snow, probably shorter than Never Hike Alone. That type, maybe like a half hour, maybe 40 minutes. But we would do some really, really cool. We're going to do some really, really cool shit with it. The story is just banging. We just got to write it out. So that's why we're bringing all that stuff together. But anyway, Resolute Blood has a question. New hoodies or shirts on the next campaign? My friend, yes, we do. Oh, we do. Let me see. I think I have, you want to see one of them? Because I think I showed them last week and I accidentally deleted them off. But let me, let's see. Boop, 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 boop. Oh yeah, there's that one. Oh, thought I had more. Oh, I never showed that one, huh? Yeah, anyway, they're going to be new shirts. Sorry, I was looking at some of my files and I don't have them up yet. But yes, Eric, they're going to be new shirts. It's going to be great. And then one of them is going to be, if you missed it before, one of the shirts will definitely be this. Because obviously, we're going to do this. Obviously. In fact, we're going to leave this up for a little bit because it's just so cool. Back to comments. Let me do this. So this is definitely going to be put on a shirt. 1,000% going to be a shirt. We have the death metal, the toxic green shirt. We got the snow shirt that's going to be coming out. And then we're working on one other shirt. This will be a shirt. So we're going to get that all obviously all together. Oh, she's not my assistant. She is my girlfriend, but she's definitely helping me out. She's the best. But I will pass along that she said that you were being very, very nice, or that she was being nice to you. I couldn't have done this without her. I mean, shout out to Mo. She's been busting her ass to help me get caught up while I've been dealing with, other projects and things, getting them off the ground. Yeah, definitely. She's definitely the MVP of Womp Stomp Films these days. That's for sure. So I think that's just about covered everything for tonight. I wasn't planning on going too long tonight. I just wanted to cover some of the bases for what was going on, and obviously do my little spiel because I was so fired up. And I was excited after Never Effort Film Festival coming back to you guys and realizing that it's sort of like, not realizing, I've known it for a while, but what's nice is we're on the cusp of being able to turn this channel into something a little bit more. We've just been sort of kind of paddling along, riding the wave of Never Hike Alone 2 and letting that settle. But now it's time to make some new stuff. And we're really excited about that. And even though we're still starting off we're starting off, we're sticking with Never Hike Alone for Ghost in the Fog, but that's just us finishing. That's just unfinished business for us. So we're going to finish that up. Ghost Chick will be not far behind that. Obviously, Slay is going to be coming out pretty soon. Very proud to be producing this. And then, I think by the end of the summer, we're going to have the bonding up and running. We're going to get that campaign up and going along with the EMF campaign, which won't be far behind that. But, oh, look at her. Look at her. You're welcome. Thank you, Mo. There we go. Now we have it officially on the thing. So anyway, yeah, we're really excited about this. I'm really excited to dive into some new stuff. Remember, if you want to talk to us about No Problemo, wompstompfilms@gmail.com. If you want to learn about crowdfunding and you need some tips on how to crowdfund your movie, wompstompfilms@gmail.com. We're here to help. If you're having trouble with your shipping order, wompstompfilms@gmail.com. We'll help you with your shipping order. But thank you, everybody, for your never-ending patience with us with the shipping. We know it's been a very, very long time. We're excited to see Blu-rays going out, people doing their videos of opening them up. Make sure that when you're getting your video, you're sharing it around. and you're showing people that you got this Blu-ray, that it's a rare thing. I mean, like I said before, the batches that we're sending out right now, it's official. These things are out of print, except for Never Hike Alone 2. Never Hike Alone 2 is still in print. But if you got a Never Hike Alone, a Never Hike in the Snow, an old Ghost cut, and then some, I mean, the first editions too are going to be out of print. And so are the Jarvis versus Jasons. All of this stuff is going to be very rare. So if you got an extra one, definitely hang on to it for a while. We are going to have the black cases for sale for a while. There may be some stragglers at conventions that I'll be able to sell at the conventions. Just shoot us a message. So cute. No. Thank you. Yeah, so I would love to put my order on priority, but with how much I paid for, I feel bad to do that. No. Jacob, you have such a big order that I'm just waiting for everything to land for you. Dude, I gotta figure out how to get everything to you. Yours is gonna ship in so many boxes. We've been doing all like the small stuff. I would never sell my Never Hike Alone Blu-rays, but I would love that black case one. We're gonna hook you up. You guys have done enough. I got you there, Jacob. We'll add that to your order. We're just waiting on the VHS tapes to come in, which I believe is in your order, but everything else I have. All the props. I know you got all the props. We got that prop that you picked out. So that's all coming together. Actually, Mo and I were going to spend some time this weekend at the warehouse where the bigger orders are and start to assemble those things. I'll give yours a look and see if we can get the whole thing out to you, but kind of go from there. All right, everybody. It's been a long couple of weeks for me. I'm finally feeling back to normal. It's good to be back here on Friday nights. I'm definitely going to be back next week while I still can. I'm going to be promoting the Monster Expo. Next week, I believe I'm going to ask James Sweet if he wants to join me. It may be a dual host. We're going to take a look at the new NECA Pamela Voorhees figure, which James has. He wants to review it. So I think we're going to do a little bit of a figure review. I'm going to have some updates on Ghost Chicken. We're going to look at some concept art. Yes, concept characters, concept cover, and whatever else I can get my hands on in the next week. I wish I could show you the other thing I've been working on, but that would get me in big trouble. But anyway, we're going to pick this up next week on the next episode of the Ghost Files, which will be number 43. This is episode number 42, which has been fun. Like I said at the top of the program, if you have not already, please like this video, subscribe it, share it on your page, tell all your friends how you love hanging out here like Allie does on Twitter and helping us rail people in. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Thanks for checking us out. Definitely jump back in the previous episodes. There's so many cool things. Last week, we talked about Crystal Lake. There's an episode on how to build your own ghost chasing costume. There's an episode where we looked at the very first Never Hike Alone, which I swore I would never show to anybody. So dig back on the old Ghost Files, check out old episodes, definitely check out the Never Hike Alone stuff, and make sure to check out our other fan films and other original shorts, which are also on the channel. Get used to everything. We're here to make a ton more content in the coming year, and we can't wait to share it with you all. So until then, I hope you all have a wonderful weekend, and until next time, we will see you